Alrighty, let's pick this guy up. 71 K20 3/4 ton automatic 4x4. What do you think, Ruby?
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, Ruby approves of it.
Dad, I see dirt on this side.
It's a little bit dirty. Driving it home, it broke down. Actually, the tow truck just left. So it's already batting 1,000, but it's really rusty. We've got rust down there, pretty much the whole thing. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. It sounds funny, huh? Rust there. It's pretty beat up. The worst part of this truck, though, is right here. That's just gone. The roof right here is, you can kind of, oops, yeah. And the windows totally rusted out right there. And that's not even the worst. Look at this part right here. Did you put a hole in it too? Rusty right there. This is going to be a fun one to repair.
Dad, can I see?
You want to see what we're doing? You want to see this new truck? What do you think of it?
We were supposed to go with you guys.
Oh, yeah? Ruby's my helper, aren't you, Rubes? Yeah, you're the helper. Anyways, gonna clean it off a little bit. It's the other side. It's not too dented up. It just, you know, seen better days. This side's about the same on the bottom. Super rusty. This has a hole in the cab right here. Rockers, yep, needs them. Yep. Lots of fixing. I mean, this is just like, yeah, not solid. It's a 350 motor. Runs pretty good when it didn't break on me. So, anyways. Alright, so last video, cut the top off, and looking at it, started thinking like, I just cut through a big support of this. Let me come around and show this. You know, this kind of holds this whole cab on here, and I started thinking, it's probably okay if we welded it, but I wanted to make extra sure this was going to be a crazy strong. So now I came with this idea, this would probably be better than the factory. We cut some 1/8" square tubing, which is right here. This side I haven't put in yet. But essentially it fits perfectly in this little web in here. It goes all the way down to here and sets, and it goes all the way up in there and sets. So this thing is going to be like really reinforced. And then I'll go ahead and, yeah, it's 1/8" square tubing.
Wow.
It's really thick. And I'll spot weld it. I mean, the face of it's perfectly right here, so it'll spot weld perfectly. And then I also have something to weld to right in here around it. So this is going to be stronger than it was before.
Wow.
And it's almost like, acts like a little mini roll cage sitting in there. So it's going to be pretty awesome. I had to think about it for a little bit, but I'm pretty pleased with it now. What is up? Getting to the 71 finally. It's its turn. So this one I think I already made a video on, but we had to repair the top and weld on. That was a pain in the butt. I'll never do that again. I'm just getting a new cab. But it's fixed now. Got all the rust out, and there was a lot, but it's pretty good now. But yeah, next time I'm getting a new cab. This one though is trashed. I'll trash the. It needs rockers, cab support, cab corners right here, and that's the bottom side isn't too bad. The cab supports are good there. Those need new cab supports. I'm about ready to pull the bed off with my fancy bed puller, so I can get to the cab corners over there. Oh yeah! Come on, you rusty hunk of truck. Time to get going again. This bumper, I think, is going to live here because it's welded on. same as the back bumper. I just all of a sudden loved them. I had to pull these 2 gas tanks that weren't even being used. They had about 100 pounds of dirt that all fell in my face. So that was lunch today. Delicious. There's dirt everywhere. I mean, it just went everywhere. Those aren't going back in it. I mean, they weren't even being used before. They were crazy rusted on there. Unfortunately, one of the supports on the bed got a little crunchy because there was a bunch of dirt between the gas tank and it. Oh well. This bed's not that nice anyways. I mean, it's not rusty, but it's sure beat up. And I don't know how much of it's Bondo, but I'm just gonna slather some more Bondo on it, smooth it out, and call it good. I think it'll be good. This isn't going to be a show truck. So, sweet. Got the bed moved over. Didn't really have any room to put it anywhere else, so I just rigged up something kind of sketchy. It's sketchy, but it ain't gonna fall. Working on these cab corners. This thing is, it's like all of them. They're always, seems like every one of these are rusty. But I've got it pretty well roughed in. I've got to dig this out though. This is the second time this has been done because somebody's already been on it to weld it and put it in. What they did is just put the new rocker over their old rusty rocker, so they didn't replace any of this stuff in here. So I think it's actually pretty solid up in there. Right there it's not, so I'm gonna have to instead of replacing the whole floor plan, I'll just section that off. But I'm about ready to pull the door. Usually I mark the door so I can put it back on perfectly, but I'm actually changing this door out because it's awesome. This door's going in the garbage. I don't usually like to do that, but this one is way gone. I've got rust there. The bottom is totally gone. The hinge where it sits in is rusted out. It's actually not rusty on top, believe it or not, but it's rusty right there. A hole right in the door right there. How does it not get rusty up here? How does it? I don't get it. There's a hole right there. And I've never seen one rust out on the inside right here on that thing. That's pretty cool, I guess. And I got another door to put on it. So, and that side too is about the same degree. Ironically, the cab corner was pretty bad. It had a ow, scratch me. Big hole in it right there. And that's the old rocker. All 2 of them put together. So, anyways, just gonna pull this door off now, and then I'm gonna yank the hood off, take this fender off, and then that's gonna be fun getting this fender off because yeah, that thing's welded on there. That grill is gonna be interesting. Not looking forward to that, but this hood's garbage too. It's rusted out there, and it's actually even rusted through on the top too. I don't know if you can see it over there. That's rusted over there. Rusted through. I've never seen it rust through like that. This one is. Pretty cool, but it's pretty much a rust bucket. That's how I like them. They're not super crappy and destroyed and need 3,000 hours to make it back again. I don't buy it. I'm like, I only want the ugliest, crappiest, junky ones. Because I'm crazy. But this is going to be a pretty cool truck when it's done. So, quick update on the truck. Here's the carnage. So this side, I'm actually already done at the other side, but this side definitely, I don't know, you see any holes in there? Let's see, yeah, that's probably, pretty structural at this point. Yeah. He's a little bit rusty. It looks like somebody's replaced these rockers before, because that doesn't look like factory weld to me. Anyways, a little bit rusty. So that junk out of the way, you can kind of see there's a hole there. That's pretty much all of it. So I'm gonna have to end up replacing everything. This is gonna have to go. The A-pillar, rocker, inner. I'm gonna take it all the way back to the back, because lo and behold, there's a hole there. Actually, this inner right here, nope, there's a hole. You can probably see it through here, but new cab corner. When I was under here trying to get some off, the bolt was so rusty. I don't know if you can see that, sorry. So rusty that it actually is twisted off inside of there. Now my wrench is stuck in there. I'll figure out how to get that, but that cab support gone. I'm gonna pull this fender off. I already got this side done over here. Didn't really video any of it because, what the heck. But this is actually a decent fender, except for the spot you can't really see. This is the spot that hooks it up under over here. Right here and here is rusty. Not one thing or the other, so I think I'm probably just gonna cut this out and weld the new piece in right there. Because this is a decent fender. It's like the only one on the truck. And then a little bit of rust. There's a little hole right there. I don't know, must have had some leaves or something on it. You can't see it from the outside, so I'll probably just treat it. Make sure the rust is gone. I think what had happened is there was a bunch of leaves that sat right here and just sat there for years and years and rusted it out. This piece is definitely rusty, but I have a patch panel to go right there to fix that, so that won't be rusty anymore. There was 2 gas tanks sitting right here. I took those off, but it was a little bit rusty. The bed right there, I don't think I'm gonna fix that. This bed's not, it's straight, but man, it's got, I don't know how much Bondo's in it. I'm gonna say a lot. I'm just gonna flatten it back out and shoot some primer on it. This isn't a, $50,000 truck, but there's the cab corner I replaced. I ran, my flap disc died on me, so I've got some more welding to do on it, for sure. And here's this rocker. Not done welding it yet, but it's in there. Fits really good. Everything seemed to be pretty good. I still have to make a piece for right here. I accidentally cut it too far up. Oops. And then that's rusted out there. So what I'll do is I'll make a piece probably right here, just this whole piece right here, and just replace that whole piece back as far as I need to. But I had to replace the cab corner here. But kind of see a little bit. Got a little more welding to do. Some little bit of grinding on it. It's not perfect, but it's crazy solid. So I think that's pretty cool. Door shuts good. So I've got a new core support for it. It's rusty in there, so that'll get, this core support will get junked out. I've got new inner fender wheels for it. So on this one, replaced all this. This is all brand new. Everything in here. Well, that door attached to is brand new. The door is new, not the same door. So I had some doors off to 67 that were actually in pretty good shape. They've got a little bit of rust in the door skin, but I'll cut that out, treat it. Essentially, this truck will be rust free. If there's any spots that, this is why that other side rusted off. See all this, this floor. That's why those rusted out. This side, for some reason, didn't. It was a little, like I said, this will probably be the only spot where I'm not gonna cut it out. I'll treat it with some rust stuff and patch it up, because I don't think in its new life it'll ever be under a giant tree that'll sit there for 20 years on it, and I think it'll be just fine. You can't see it. It's not gonna be an issue. Same thing with this bed. Those bed supports only got rust on because of those big gas tanks that were sitting right here. So I'll treat those and call it good. But everything else is getting, this is all gonna get replaced. So Anyways, you see that yeller door. It's got a speaker cut out in it. That was the only kind of the cruddy thing about it, but I'll throw some more speakers back in there. It'll sound better anyways. Like I said, this isn't meant to be a truck that's a museum piece, that's for sure. It'll be a good running, solid truck. It'll be fun to drive, so that's what I'm after. Check this out. I decided to take the bumper off. For the longest time, I thought it was cool and I was going to keep it on there. But then I decided, I guess it's not as cool as I wanted it to be. I still go back and forth on it, but that thing weighs probably like 800 pounds. It's crazy heavy, and it was insane to get it off. I had some crazy welding on it. Went through two metal, the diamond blades, cut-off blades, and then another one, probably a quarter of it. Two drill bits. I was like, dang it, this thing's never coming off. But I got it off. Probably a torch would have been better if I had a torch or a plasma cutter, but I don't. But you know, I guess you run the risk of cutting the frame. Now I just got to clean that frame up a little bit and get a bumper for it. I guess I'll just go back to stock. All the rest is pretty much done. All the repair. Got everything kind of started doing just a really quick Bondo on it. Nothing fancy at all. There's some there I haven't quite got to. That door had a few patches it needed. Not going to do much of this bed. It's probably got 10 gallons of Bondo in it. It looks like it does. But it's straight. And this truck is not going to be a show winner. It'll still be awesome and cool though. I'm actually pretty excited. I'm going to try to get the front clip. Got a brand new core support for it. New fender over there. New inner fender wells. I'll put the heater box back in. And probably the hood back on today, hopefully. Unless I have to go clean the garage out. Dang it. Oh well. So excited. It's time to paint this bad boy. Turn the fan off. Alrighty. All I'm doing is going to shoot primer on it. I'm not painting any fancy color, but had to put a new hood on it. Well, new used hood. I can't see him. New core support, new inner fender wheels, newer bumper. This is a new fender. Had to put different doors on it. Pretty decent doors. I got room for speakers. I didn't really like that, but oh well. Had to do a patch in it right there. Had a little hole, but the bottom was actually pretty solid on this one. New rockers. New not cap support. Rear quarter. Had to do new A-pillars. I did the kicks. Both sides, can't see that one. Went ahead and I've had really good luck with this. The Pour 15 system. There was a few little floor patches right here, and I didn't really paint it that good, but yeah, it doesn't matter. That Pour 15 is crazy hard. I treated it with the rust killer, then treated it with that. Anywhere where I thought it was kind of a little bit, you know, susceptible. This one, the cab, remember we had to weld on a new top, so this has all been worked in there. It actually was pretty good. Welding was pretty close, pretty good. Not had to do too much body work on it. This thing too, just a little bit of body work. Kind of hide the weld a little bit. So we had to fix the cab up here. This whole thing was just rusted out. I thought it was a good one. I got it on there, it wasn't, so I ended up pulling it out. It's good now. I flooded the insides of that with the rust killer and then dumped some Pour 15 down in there just as extra precaution. So she should be pretty good now. I didn't replace any of this. It was pretty solid, but that Pour 15 on it, it's good to go. It was a little bit, tiny bit of a little rust starting there, but it's crazy hard now. I love that stuff. You can see a little bit of the. I probably should take more time on the grinding and the body work there, but weather stripping will cover this, and I don't really care about that. Same thing back here. You can see where Attached the new. This was the original. This was another truck. This bed kind of sucks. It has about 10 gallons of Bondo in it, but it's pretty straight. It had a little bit of a rust. One of the supports under here. There you can see it. It's probably right. Yeah, right there. It had gas tanks under here, and there was a bunch of junk under there that had rusted that. It's not rusted all the way, but I'm not going to fix it. Those gas tanks aren't going back in there, and it'll be fine. 415, all that. It's like, yeah, I love that stuff. It's hard. Killed the rust, 415 it. Didn't do much with this stuff because you can tell this tailgate's, it's original, but it's not that great. Did a little bit of body work. It's still going to be a little beat up looking, but it's better than it was. I kind of like this old crappy looking bumper. It's actually pretty straight and way solid. We'll keep that on there. Fixed a lot of body work that I had before. I didn't actually add that much Bourbon to it. It had a ton on it. But those doors, they were really, really straight. They're off a 67, but I kind of like that emblem. I'm gonna paint it black. It'll be cool. So this will have the different wing windows because it's a 67 door, but that's kind of cool. This is rusted on there. I'll pull that off later. I've got to actually fix this. This is broken. I have another one to put on there. The only rust spot left in this truck is this door is really solid, but there's a little hole right there, and you can't see it, but maybe you can. Right there. So I treated this with the Pour 15, killed the rust, put all the Pour 15 on it. It's really, you can tell it's crazy hard. I'm not gonna fix it. I'm gonna throw some Bondo on it. It'll go for a long time. I don't know. If someone cares, they could probably get that off and go for it. But the rest of the door is crazy solid. Just a couple little tiny rust holes. I'm okay with putting a little Bondo in after I Pour 15 it and kill the rust, so it'll be good. You can see I had to really do a lot of work to get this guy, all the rust out of this guy. Welded in a new piece, and then actually, it doesn't have that much Bondo in it, actually. Welded up nice and should be good. Other than that, had to put a new one of these on it. I mean, this truck was so rusty before. So insane rusty. But, you know, and I had to change that fender out too. Both fenders have been replaced. The hood, top of the cab, doors, rockers, the A-pillar. The B-pillars, amazingly enough, weren't rusted out. They were actually good, so I didn't have to replace those. The cab corners have been replaced. The cab supports in the front. The back ones are actually really solid. It's because everything else is rusted out everywhere else. Had to do a little bit of a patch. You can see where that's white. There was a little bit of a hole in both sides of those because this thing was so full of crud. Man, it had just 20 gallons of dirt in there. So I pulled all that, I treated the rust in there, painted it, and then welded in new parts there. And I think my welding's about a B. I'm sure I can probably do better, but it's pretty good. Like I said, this is a no-show truck. I'm pretty excited about it. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Like I said, the body's really pretty straight, but there are a few dings here or there that I'm not gonna take it to just laser straight. I think it'll be cool enough like this. So, anyways, there it is. Back at it again. I think the last video I took was the truck before I painted it the primer. So now it's all primered up. This is one color. Got it all put back together again. This truck had massive wiring problems. Holy cow. That's all the wires I tore out of it. Switches and wires and just, I don't even know what most of it went to. It wasn't factory, any of this. It had a lot of wires and tail lights, headlights. None of the lights work, but they all work now. Blinkers work. The only light that doesn't work is this backup light. I don't really care about that. So, I'm gonna take it for a ride up the hill a little bit, get the garbage cans, bring them down, see how she does.